Welcome back. We're going to continue this planting of Raft style Ikadabuki, and we're going to take the wire off, strip the bark, hormone it, and then plant it in these beautiful boxes. So we started this project in last November. Now it's April, and we started with the wiring to get the branches in place. After we, so when we put it down in the box, it'll be in the right position. This is the overall outcome, is to have this Raft style eventually in a bonsai pot at the top or crest of a hill, and then we're gonna, this is like a cross section, we're gonna cut the bark off on the bottom side, apply rooting hormone, and then submerge it in these boxes in good soil.
Is there any great time, or is there a best time for this type of repotting or root production?
Well, the best time is really the longer the season you have, the better. We got a little delayed on time, but it's still early in the spring, and so the growth season, the growing season, is really the best time. I think if you went too early and it kind of just sat there, it wouldn't push the cambium.
Yeah.
And so actually, it's a pretty good time right now, and then it'll have all summer and into fall to start developing a root system. But pine trees and conifers take a while, so it might be a couple years before really we get enough roots to take it out of the box.
So we built these boxes oversized for this, just for this kind of a project. So they can live in these boxes with good drainage, probably for 4 or 5 years, which would then give us probably a nice root ball to begin to repot. So that's sort of the plan. Hopefully, and the longer you leave them, the root ball untouched, the better growth you're going to get. And so we'll be able to really push the growth well, and hopefully have something that's pretty mature by the time we come back to it.
Okay, so we have to kind of see where the horizon is. We're going to pre-mark it so that we don't overcut the cambium. You know, if you don't do this, you get long, you go like this, and then you get to the other side and you overdo it sometimes. And so this will keeps you on track.
Well, and it lets you concentrate on the cut without worrying about where you're going. We already figured that part out.
Right.
So when you're making your cut, Lindsay, or you're making your design, does it matter the type of line that we choose? Do you want like a jagged line, a straight line? I know we want the best cut possible, sharpest cut possible, but the line itself, does it matter?
Well, I think, okay, so say we have this line I just made. I think it's nice if we could, like this is sort of an upper branch, if we could create some roots kind of close to that ventral trunk of that tree. I think it'll make it look pretty when it's exposed more, where you see an actual root coming close to one of the trunks. That's kind of neat, coming out of one of the trunks.
So don't make it too artificial.
Yeah, it doesn't, as long as it's pretty much in the middle, if you have like a cross section of it.
All right, so what's next?
Okay, you want to use this one? This is really good. Okay. And then just go through, score it. Okay,
Don't cut your fingers.
Just do perpendicular to the,
Straight in, right?
yeah, straight in. And then once we kind of score it, we'll scrape them off with a scraper or knife,
And how deep am I going?
deep as you could go.
As deep as it'll let me go.
Yeah,
Is there any
it's down
advantage
to the hardwood.
using a X-Acto knife versus like a grafting knife?
It's probably,
I think probably whatever is comfortable in your hand. I think a X-Acto knife is, you know, sometimes I'll use X-Acto knife on trees that have a lot of pitch on it because I could just pitch it out, you know, throw it away. Don't have to clean it. But grafting knives, you're gonna have to clean that thing to get the sap off.
And we're just cutting up to the cambium.
Yeah, through the cambium. So we're scoring it, and hopefully, see, like in the spring, you know, the xylem, phloem of the plant is moving now, so this should peel off pretty good, pretty easy.
Oh, because we got flow right now.
Mm-hmm. If you do it too early, it'll be hard to peel this off. So it is kind of good for.
so I can see right away that the secret to this is to not make a trip to the hospital while you're doing it.
Yeah, that's right. That is correct. Slicer.
Oh, look, Lindsay's cheating. So he's scraping.
I'm gonna get the big chunks off and then go back and make sure that the cut is perpendicular to the trunk.
Get a nice clean cut.
Yeah. See, there's green right there, right? That's part of the cambium. So once we're done, you don't want to see any green. You want to make a straight, sharp cut into the trunk.
So Lindsay,
And that's the hardwood, correct? We're trying to get to the hardwood.
To the hardwood, yeah.
Michael, you were about to say something?
oh, I wasn't. I was going to talk about Lindsay's cool X-Acto knife set that he got.
Well, I'll look at the X-Acto knife right here. I'll take a. You want to talk about your 1250 X-Acto knife kit in
Yeah.
a wood box?
Yes, it has all these gadgets I probably will never use. But I went to a antique store in, is that Washington? In Washington.
I was about to say, don't tell your secret sauce, and we'll know where to go shopping now.
Yeah.
But it's Washington, you know.
No, just antique store. And they had this kit that looked like no one ever used it. So I would get that. It was $12.50.
Was it really 1250?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I was just joking. I thought it looked like you're writing. That's why I'm like, was it from your nursery at one point?
No,
You can't even buy
some of the
a regular X-Acto knife for that cheap.
Beautiful April, beginning of April here. So would you fertilize the tree? Did you fertilize the tree at all, Michael, during the time you had it for the 6 months?
Okay, so yes, I did. As soon as we finished, I threw some organic fertilizer on it to help it wake up early on, because I wanted it to be growing strong when we got ready to do this.
Just at the branches.
And then I did fertilize it one more time in the early part of February. So it's and both times with organic stuff. So it's
Like a light fertilizer and almost like a 555?
well, you know, I can't answer that question because it was Green King. So whatever Green King is. But you can't get Green King anymore.
Oh, that's the granular, the
Yes.
pellet, like,
Well, it's pelletized.
yeah, pellet.
It's really neat. I love that stuff. But you know, it was made in Japan, and imported, and it said it had bone meal in it. And I don't know, but I suspect that it was outlawed here because they used whale bone.
That's interesting.
It had whale bone. It had bone meal in it, and I'm betting they used, you know, that they were nervous that they were using whale bone.
So that is obsolete in California or the United States.
Yes, and so they made them. Couldn't get it as of about 2 years ago.
So if you notice, Lindsay is actually scraping to the heartwood, just making sure there's no phloem, correct, or xylem, or both.
Both. Mainly the, let's see, phloem, I guess. You want to do the?
So what is that, about a
paste?
7 by 12?
Sure.
7 by 14?
I think so. So Lindsay, what's I saw you spritzing. What's the purpose of spritzing water on the on your cut tree?
Well, we're in the sun, and so we don't want. No one's providing a shade out here, so no, I'm just kidding.
Anybody like to donate some shade structure? Be great.
Get that knife in the
Yeah. No, what it does is it dries out those cambium, the cells on there.
Uh-huh.
So if they kind of die back, then it has to grow from beyond that inside. So if you keep it moist, it keeps it healthier before we put it
you know
into
what
the.
Lindsay does? He puts it in a squirt bottle and he squirts it on
Just on.
You're right here.
I'm trying it 2 different ways.
Yeah.
me. Okay. So you're gonna paint it on? Oh, you're gonna try it 2 different ways. Cool. Little paint on there.
All right. So what's our next step? Or what's our next?
You have a root hook I could use.
Root hook.
Some kind of thing like that.
I have one in the garage somewhere.
Look at
Oh, okay, that'll work.
I
So-
had one of those. I threw it away by accident after I repotted.
One of these.
Yes.
It's a good
that
back
what trash can
scratcher.
crushed?
Good back
Huh?
scratcher.
that. Is that when you crushed the trash can?
No, that's when I dumped everything in the concrete bucket. And Lindsay just
12.50,
walked
yeah.
away.
It's a back scratcher.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. So I'm gonna, before I put the powder on, I'm gonna kind of reduce this root ball so it'll fit down in the soil. So I'm gonna try to get this bottom half reduced.
How about the top half? I mean, do we want to do what the? I mean, is that reverse? Do we want to comb off the top and then keep the bottom whole, or?
Well, I'm gonna reduce some of this so it fits down in the container low enough.
Okay.
And then, yeah, the top, you don't want too much sticking out because it dries out the root ball, right?
Uh huh.
So we could take some of that off too.
I need to make it overly complicated, although
And then I need a,
You have?
like a, well, I could just cut it like this.
So if you're watching, Lindsay is actually measuring or just doing a dry fit, save it. How far to remove that root ball to fit inside the box?
A little shorter.
I think I screwed it up.
No, you don't. We just adjust it.
And the depth, Lindsay, what's when you dry fit, what are we looking for?
Well, we want to get this trunk probably close to halfway down, and then the soil going to be on top of it, right, over the trunk. So we don't want to have it too high, too close to the surface, because it dries and wets and dries and wets, and it won't root out as well.
Okay.
So the more uniform we could keep it moist, the better, which means bringing it down lower
In the box.
in the soil. Yeah.
And that's probably easier to take care of too, because
Right.
the moisture level will be consistent.
Right.
So Lindsay's doing a dry fit into the box, and he's aiming to be about 50% of that volume of that box to keep the tree from just constant moisture, to let it have the best chance to grow. It's a good 80 degrees out here, everybody?
Maybe, yeah. And I'm gonna put the root tone on here.
So that's rooting hormone. Lindsay puts in a squirt bottle and
Put
sprays
stuff
it.
in the bottom of your box yet?
No, I'm gonna put it down to the bottom, and I'll
75
just fill around it.
Okay.
And if you notice, Lindsay's gonna grow some roots out of his hand right there too.
Yeah, my finger.
This is how Lindsay drinks water sometimes. So that's one method, just squirting the hormone straight directly onto the cambium layer.
Cambium.
This is about a what, 3% concentration rate on the dry stuff?
This one is, yeah.
Michael, you're using the same variety, correct?
What's that?
Your rooting hormone, is that a 3%, 2%, 3%-ish?
It's not what's on there. I think I have a bigger container I filled that with.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a 3%.
So about 3%. Is there any advantage to use something a little stronger, or?
They say that it's better for harder to root things, the stronger. So,
Have you played with rooting hormone at all, the concentration, or just?
no, I just
Oh, I just wonder. I'm just,
I
just.
just get in the bottle and
Well, if anybody has played with rooting hormone, did some research on it, it'd be great if you want to share that in the comments. I would like to know.
Okay, you got zip ties.
Again, if I was doing a PhD in botany, this would be one of my subject areas.
This guy's gonna go.
you may want to tie this one to this one. Because
Talk about soil. What kind of soil are we using today?
We have, okay, so there's two types here because I can't get volcanic rock in, 1/2 inch,
Uh-huh.
3/8 inch chunks. So I put that into a finer mix, which Lindsay's using right now.
And that's what
So this is like 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch.
one third,
Yeah,
Akadama,
This
lava,
it's
and
standard mix, It's the one that Kenji taught me. It's the one that Boone uses. It's pretty much what everybody.
and then you have something very similar but a larger size.
Yeah. Okay. So this is just larger akadama and bigger pumice pieces.
And you have these round ceramic balls in there.
These are these I use because they don't break down. This is stuff that the guys use for growing indoor plants.
Pot.
That would be it. And it's hard fired little ceramic balls.
You know what I don't like about those things? They float.
They float.
They float.
Yeah, I haven't had a problem with them. I like them.
I have, I bought them from IKEA. It's $6 like a liter bag at IKEA. They have that in the plant section. I do like them. They're really lightweight, but they float. Lindsay just poured it in. He didn't want to waste time there. So, are you worried, Lindsay, about the hormone fluffing off while putting inside the mix?
nah, it's and it's on the underside, so even if you water it, I don't think much is gonna wash off.
And then Michael, he's going to do a different technique. Instead of squirting dry powder on, he's actually made a paste, and he's going to brush it on, so we have a more direct contact onto that cambium layer. And we're going to see which one will, eventually which one will root better. Hopefully both will root out. We should label the boxes so we know which one's which.
Yeah, we should.
Have a control and then a experimental.
Control and experiment.
Sorry, the science person's coming out. You need help, Lindsay? What do you need?
Is it still out there?
Which one?
That tub of mulch?
Oh, right here.
Oh,
It's right behind the...
it's hidden.
I got it.
Thank you. Okay, so after we get the soil in there, the main soil,
where did he bring the soil?
Halfway.
and it's a little higher than halfway. Then I'm going to fill it with this,
Oh, you're going to top it.
top it with this LGM planting mix.
And what's the purpose of the topper?
Well, the finer mulch, organic mulch, I feel it holds the moisture in this area, but it doesn't, because it's kind of coarse, it won't. The trunks won't get rot even if they're buried.
Okay.
So
And it's a temporary, correct?
yeah, it's just on the surface to keep that moisture up around the trunks.
And the style is almost, again, it's almost like we talked about an air layer, but it's really like a half layer of a tree.
Right. Actually, yeah. So it's a little safer because it's still connected. The root, the cambion's connected to these little branches, little trees. I'll put it on a little higher because it always, you know, these organic stuff kind of break down some in water.
So, did you leave it like this up here?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's really good. Actually, might go higher, so that's good.
So Michael Roberts putting a dry fit right now, just checking everything kind of fits in the box.
So, onto this piece.
So doing the, is there a particular concentration you're using on that?
You know, I just went with like a thick paste here. So it's kind of like mix and mortar. A little bit of water goes a long ways. You just do a little bit till you get a concentration that you like.
And it almost looks like a loose toothpaste.
This is about the same as that paste they used to give you in kindergarten
Oh,
on a brown paper towel, right?
oh, those it doesn't taste really well. If you have taste paste, put that in the comment. I've tasted paste in my lifetime. You guys all laugh, but you guys have tried paste. You know, I think our kids have never tried paste. 'Cause I don't think you even know what paste is. Flour and water, that's old school paste.
Do you mind if I water it and let it drain?
Not at all.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So I don't get your car wet.
So we used to make as a kid.
So I'm gonna go water mine in and put it in the oven for a half a year.
So Michael's really just pasting it on. Really thick too. And it's, we're really worried about the cambium layer, correct? Nothing else? Because that's where we want that growth to occur.
Right. So right in there, huh? We'll take them anywhere we can get them, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's perfect. Yours fits better. I left too big a root balls maybe.
So we need to probably bring this up.
Well, the soil, I think the soil, you know, the
Let it
planting
do
mix
that.
will bring it up.
So Lindsay, where's your root ball? If you know people don't, how would you know the root ball's on that side?
Well, there's a little gap here. And the little small
Yeah,
top
the foliage is
branches
up
are over
the
here.
other
Mr. Scoop, just dump some in there and I'll work it out.
So would it be ideal to make a smaller box for just for drainage, or
What's that?
for the box? Because the box seems a little large for the, like, width-wise.
Oh, no, I think it's good.
Do you think it's good?
Yeah, the more, you know, you don't want it too big or it's heavy to work with.
Uh-huh.
But,
You just want it big enough.
yeah, you know, it gives it a buffer of moisture. So,
We'll let Michael finish this up and then put the mulch on top. But Michael puts a different type of mulch on top, so we'll keep filming here.
yeah, he's going to put cocoa hulls.
I'm gonna use his with mine. I'm gonna do a mix.
Oh, okay, sure.
So Michael's
stuck with it?
still going to use a small layer of this algae mulch mix, was it?
LGM planting mix.
Planting mix.
It's oak leaf mold, peat moss, and there's a little bit of spud drop.
Where would you be able to commercially grab that? Because they don't sell that at Lowe's or Home Depot, the LG stuff.
Well, if it's LG, you can go to like San Gabriel and get it. You could go to any of the
Smaller nurseries?
or the commercial, the people that cater to the commercial guys.
Their factory warehouse is in El Monte,
No.
so I get it down there.
I don't know. See, people, we need a secret sauce there. If you live in the LA area, you know where to get it now.
Okay.
So you put about a good about half-inch layer of this LGM
Yeah,
planting mix there, and then he's have this. Now this is Michael's secret sauce. He uses this cocoa shells,
cocoa holes. Yeah, cocoa holes.
and it's
Shells.
these are shells from the cocoa bean.
Smells like chocolate.
It does smell like raw chocolate, which is a really good scent to it. Really different. It's really almost very loose.
But as it breaks down, it compacts nicely. It stays moist.
Where do you buy that?
Michael, where did you say you can buy this cocoa holes?
I used to be able to get it at San Gabriel, but San Gabriel is changing up the way they do business for the last 4 or 5 years. And the last couple of years that I've been over there, they haven't had it. But the last time I bought it was in late fall, early spring this year. I got it at Whittier Fertilizer.
That's right, Whittier Fertilizer.
It's like about $12 or $15 that day.
Oh, it's cheap, yeah. For whatever this is, 3 cubic feet.
So you bought that at Whittier Fertilizer Company, which is off the 605 freeway, if I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, that's open to the public.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
open
it
to
is.
public.
And they probably have LGM planting mix.
That, I would say yes.
Yeah, they might have LGM planting mix there too.
That's where I think most of us get our pumice from. Small bags of pumice.
They got just about anything. And a lot of gardeners go there.
A lot of them.
maintenance people. Yeah,
Big bags of cheap fertilizer too.
they have Ammophos there.
Yep. You haven't visited. It's a great place to visit. It's a really short visit. And you know, I should make a video of that place.
It's really neat. It's been there for probably 50, 60 years, maybe more, 70 years.
I think they're open on the weekends except for Sundays, correct? I think they're closed. I know they're open in the mornings only. So while Michael's doing that and watering, you want to talk about Aftercare, Lindsay, while we're here?
Oh, okay. So we're doing this in the spring. We probably want to check it before winter, just to see how the callousing is working. Maybe we've, luckily, maybe we got some roots by fall. It's usually, pines are usually at least a 2-year process.
Wow.
Of rooting. So, don't be super anxious to get this done. If you work on deciduous trees, they're a lot faster, probably 1 season. So what we're going to do is, keep it watered and fertilized. Probably a little bit of midday shade, morning sun, and then probably September, October, we'll kind of put this on the side and kind of wash out that upper layer, and expose the trunk to see how
The fine layer you're talking
Yeah.
about, the really fine layer of
this
that mulch material.
and to see how much callousing and maybe possibly rooting has happened this year. If it's it'll try to grow back over the trunk too, the callus. So we might have to go in there, try not to disturb it, but go in there and cut it again, and then hormone it, and then cover it back over with more mulch.
Would bottom heat help accelerate the root growth at all, or?
After the callousing, yeah, probably after the callousing.
So you should wait before you put it on a heat pad right now.
Yeah, let it kind of callus, and then once the callus comes out, then the heat, bottom heat would accelerate the root production. But I would, and we might mention this to Robert there, that I would make sure that we could even give it like Super Thrive or some kind of rooting hormone liquid periodically through the growing season. to
accelerate the growth, just accelerate the growth again.
The rooting, yeah. So we'll probably do that.
Would we fertilize at all?
Yeah. Fertilize
Just
like
as
regular
normal,
plant.
pretty much like a regular plant. But we won't decandle, correct? We just want that growth to accelerate.
Yeah. So these candles, we want to just let them grow, and then that'll help the growth of the calycine, and hopefully rooting will come out faster.
Awesome. And so we'll probably come back to this part 3 probably in late
fall.
fall,
Yeah.
about September, October, and then we'll come from there.
Yeah.
We'll wait for Michael to come back. He's still watering over there.
Yeah.
Joe's in the audience, but Joe has a question there.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
So, would you put that in a bag?
Nope.
Would you put it in shade?
Yeah, probably since we took the bark off, we want to put it in probably midday shade. Morning sun and shade by between probably I'd say 11 and 3 or something like that.
Would you put it in the greenhouse for at all, or if you had a greenhouse?
Oh, if you had a greenhouse, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
The humidity
great.
will help out.
Yeah, extra humidity. I was saying that we should probably, periodically fertilize it or water it in with like B1 or Super Thrive through the summer.
Okay.
Once in a while.
Michael does not have a greenhouse, but you probably build one soon.
Yeah, well, I could probably tint some plastic and poke some holes so we get a little ventilation, leave it open at both ends, put it against the wall where the maples are, and
So yeah, as long as it doesn't cook it.
yeah.
So we're going to come back for part 3 in about late fall, September,
Take a
October,
look.
to take a look. So
That's a really good idea.
that's about another 6 months from now.
Pudding.
6 months from now. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for doing this demo for this. If you guys like or want to comment, please do below. We'll put some more information for you guys. So thanks a lot, everybody. See you later.
Okay.